Hello, and welcome to Melomaniax, the podcast where we take unbiased deep dives into the biggest musicians and bands of all time. I'm Ashton.
And I'm Dallas. First, though, don't forget to please like and subscribe on YouTube, follow on Instagram and TikTok, and most importantly, hit us with those 5-star reviews on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to podcasts. That's going to help us grow a little bit quicker than the other platforms, though, so we do specifically appreciate those 5-star reviews on Apple.
For sure.
Yeah. So today, we're doing something a little different. A lot of these big artist deep dive podcasts take a lot of prep work and a lot of research and things like that. So we figured until we get a full team in place, we're going to break it up and do some kind of conversational episodes as well. A little more free form.
Yeah, where we'll kind of take random topics that you guys can also send in. Feel free to write in, send any kind of topic, any questions, comments, anything like that, and we'll possibly get to it on the show.
Yeah, and we have one of those today, right?
Yeah, we have one comment from somebody.
Nice. That's awesome.
It was from the first episode with the Doobie Brothers, where Dallas made a comment about no band name is a good band name. And Jonathan thinks
I stand by that.
Jonathan, yep. So we're in the court of music law right now. And Jonathan says The Roots is a good band name.
Okay.
And I kind of agree. I think it's a good one because like it's got some double meaning. The roots is like what hold down the tree, man. So if your band is the roots, they're holding down the groove, like they're holding it down.
Okay, right off the bat, I have a few thoughts.
Uh-oh.
First of all, The Roots. There's like a million bands named The Roots. Are we talking about Jimmy Fallon's band?
Yes. Yeah, that is the band that he specifically said The Roots with. What's his name?
Questlove.
Questlove. Yeah.
For sure. Okay, then I'll give him a pass because I thought we were talking about a different The Roots.
No.
Okay, so we are talking about the main Roots.
So they really are kind of the Roots, though.
It sounds like there were 6 guys in a room that were like, God, we cannot think of a name. And somebody's like, fuck it, just The Roots. Let's get out there. Like,
just real quick. Dude, the Roots are...
So I don't think they put as much thought into like being the root of music.
I do have a question about them, though. How many of them? So on stage, there's like
17.
12, yeah, there's a billion guys. Are they all in the band, or they have a couple of hired on guys?
I'm not sure. I know Questlove's kind of the band leader. I don't know much about the Roots, to be honest.
How weird is that a drummer is the band leader?
And most of what I say is going to be a joke, by the way, kids listening. But
yeah, I imagine that they would just have like the same core members and like maybe 2 or 3.
Yeah, it seems like if you watch episodes, it seems like they're kind of all the same.
It does look like most of them are. Yeah. I like that band. They're awesome.
Yeah, they're great. They have a really good ability to just kind of
come up with a groove like stuff. On the spot.
Yeah. Whatever, like Jack Black's playing on like a flute and they're just like doing
they're very versatile, very flexible musicians.
Yeah, you gotta be.
So like I don't think they belong to any one genre or any type of music. I think they could probably just do it all in a second.
Yeah.
So like that specific
totally
type.
Just the improvisational ability.
Probably all Berkeley majors, you know.
Who knows? Yeah. they're on another level for sure. But what other band names are good band names? Because I don't know that there are any.
I don't know, because I was...
By the way, any band name that's spelled wrong, get out of here.
Yeah.
Def Leppard, Led Zeppelin,
I was going to say, I kind of just skipped over the 80s and 90s. I don't think they took it too seriously.
Yeah. Motley Crue, no.
No.
Don't start putting umlauts in your stuff. You don't even know what they're for.
How bad would it be if like my band name sucks and it's I just go by my stage name? Like, what if your actual name, you're just like, God, Taylor Swift's such a bad band name.
She definitely shouldn't change it. It's like her legal name.
She should change it. Yeah, that's like literally her name, man.
Unfortunately, there are some people. I listened to a podcast and they were talking about the similar topic about how band names are not good. This guy wrote in and said, hey, you know, I don't think my band name's very good, but it's my name. And my name's Randy Brown. And they were like, yeah, that's not good. So here's what he said. It gets way worse. He said, okay, well, to be a little more, you know, unique.
Oh, no.
I think I'll just flip it around and be Brown Randy.
No.
This was a guy like writing into the show for advice, and the hosts were just laughing like, do not do that.
Brown Randy.
Please don't go by Brown Randy. That has terrible implications.
Nobody wants to put that on a poster. for their
because
for the
Brown
show.
is a last name, but it's also an adjective. So you wouldn't want to be Brown Randy. Like it sounds like you're saying Randy is Brown, not it's Randy Brown, you know?
Yeah.
And that's just silly.
Man, the fact that he couldn't come up with a better name than that.
Yeah.
that was his number one option.
If Brown Randy's your number one option, just go to bandnamegenerator.net or whatever and just put in go.
One of the first three. Yeah, we'll do it right now.
We're going to do it right now. And the first name we see is going to beat Brown Randy. You ready?
Be better than Brown Randy. What if it comes up with Brown Randy?
Generate. Big Lisa. All right, maybe
we might be wrong.
Maybe Brown Randy's onto something. We're gonna try again. Masquerade Ambush. How about the Bitch Police?
The Bitch Police. That's hilarious.
Please, whatever you do not call your band name Security Hierarchical, because no one's gonna be able to find that. Dude, no one's gonna spell it right, words? Including you.
The Casual Smog.
The Casual Smog. What about rim evacuation? That sounds horrible. All right, let's try this again. That's like Brown Randy vibes.
That's an upcoming metal band, dude.
Brown Randy's first album, Rim Evacuation. His next album, Huge Shit.
Oh, Jesus. All right, God, these
Biological
names are awful.
Signet. Dude.
The Orr Boatman.
You know what's a bad band name? It's a band we love. Train. Yeah, here's why. Watch. Google Train.
Dude, that's
Amtrak tickets. Wikipedia Train.
You have to type in
Let's
train
see how far we go. Hey, there we go. Five or so down, you get to SaveMeSanFrancisco.com.
That's a pet peeve, definitely. Band names that you have to type band after to get them to pull up on Google.
That's the old local band joke where your name would be like Train was taken. Train.com was taken. So you had to be like Train Band Music Rocks .net / South Carolina or whatever, you know, like that's
so specific.
Yeah, it's like no one's gonna find you, dude.
If your band name, so definitely if you're trying to brand a band out there, make sure your name is something that can pull up without association to other things.
Yeah, for sure.
You don't necessarily have to, but it's gonna make a lot of things easier.
Yeah, spend more time. Don't get too so attached to a band name if like you have to have too many qualifiers on your socials or your website or something like that. Yeah. I mean, if you have one or something like Train Band, like that's probably fine.
Yeah.
But Train Band Rocks SC that's too much. Like also, if Train Band is taken and then Train Band Rocks is taken and then you're now on Train Band SC, like get a different name.
Be flexible, and the reason your band is not successful is never going to be the name. I don't think, unless you just absolutely name it something they cannot post.
Because why? Because every band name sucks. Say it with me. The name almost doesn't matter. It's really, like, the name, which is why you could argue The Roots is a good band name because it is so bad it doesn't matter. They're just like whatever, just get out there. Like the band, basic. The Band.
I love that.
Or Yes.
They just skipped right over it.
What should we name our band name? Yes. Okay, let's go. Ridiculous.
I feel like the band had to sign like some paperwork for their first record deal without a band name, and for the line they had to sign it said the band like in quotations. Like,
and then they just wrote the band, and the guy's like,
"Yeah, that's great.
You think you're cute? You think you're being cute?" It's like, no, that's our name.
That's who we are.
Yeah. What? So, have you thought of a good one yet?
Nope.
All right, let's try this.
I don't.
We're going to have the internet come to your aid here. How about Diarrhea Planet?
That's not real.
And that's a real band.
That's,
Whoa.
Like Goo Goo Dolls came up on bad or terrible.
Honestly, all of these have to do with buttholes, it seems.
Yeah.
There's Diarrhea Planet, Butthole Surfers, and Anal Cunt all in the same list here.
These are band names, real band names.
Yeah. These are real band names.
Bathtub
By the way, don't make your band name something you literally can't say. Oh, I didn't even see that one.
Wait, Nickelback showed up. The Beatles showed up on the list. That's
the Beatles
funny.
Is a terrible name.
Yeah,
you
right.
have to admit that, especially when you realize it's the beat. Like, but come on, Puddle of Mud. How about Test Icicles? That's pretty funny.
Interesting. Coldplay. Nice,
dude. I mean, this one. I don't know how to say this one.
I'm not even going to read this.
First of all, it's 800 letters long. Paracoxidio demox. I don't know, and it literally has ... Like Google just gave up. Imagine Dragons.
Hootie and the Blowfish.
Imagine a better name.
True.
All right, here we go. Worst original band names. Tom and Jerry. It's like, and they finally named themselves Simon and Garfunkel.
Wait, the Square Roots? Oh,
you know what's so funny? Your names are Paul Simon and Art Garfunkel, and you go with Tom and Jerry, dude. And then finally they got wise. They figured it out. Just use your last names because they're crazy unique. Garfunkel?
Yeah, right.
He goes by Art Garfunkel, and you're like, dude, you got to change that. The Square Roots. They finally named themselves
The Roots.
The Roots.
Oh, nice. Look at that.
We figured it out. Therefore, your theory of them thinking that it's like super deep and where the root is wrong. It's the wrong. Square Roots.
They were the Square Roots, and they became the Roots.
Okay, my theory was also wrong. They put a little thought into it. Mookie Blaylock. I knew this one. Became Pearl Jam. Yep. On a Friday, became Radiohead. All bad. No good there.
Yeah. You're not a big Radiohead fan, are you?
I haven't put enough time into listening to them to have an opinion.
They'll definitely be on our list of episodes.
For sure.
And I actually like Radiohead. They're a more softer with the grunge, like
that post grunge kind of.
They weren't as gritty. They still had a lot of emotional music.
They're like true alternative, right?
Yeah, it's like alternative. A lot of their songs sound a little depressing. It's not that it's like that's what I like in the music. I just listen to it and cry on a rainy day. But It's just like that kind of like atmospheric music with like some soft vocals and some
for sure
whiny guitar.
I can get into some of that, but after like 3 albums of that, it's kind of like
no. That's gonna be one of those. That's gonna be one of those research episodes where I hit an album and then I need a palate cleanser in between every album I get because I'm gonna be finishing the album just like sad.
And you're like, dude, this is not only this guy's album. This is this guy's whole life. Right? He gets up on stage every night and plays all of these.
Even like right now, I'm currently doing research for our episode Tool.
Yeah,
and
nice. That's coming out next week, I think.
Yeah, so going through their discography is like, man, they've got some weird music, but also like the guitar riffs are just disgusting.
Yeah, and I love Tool.
Disgusting.
But again, it's one of those where
I can't listen to them all the time. I had to take breaks. Yeah. And I truly enjoy it. It's just they have a couple songs during the album that are going to be just weird sounds for like 5 minutes straight. Just part
it's
of
one
Tool.
Of those things where you just tune out.
Endure it. Yeah, you just kind of sit there and zone out, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh my god, there's music playing again."
Yeah, you're like listening to it, like, okay, we're gonna sit down, we're gonna listen to Tool, we're gonna write this episode, and then you're like, "Oh my god, 5 songs went by, I didn't do anything." Like, what? Go back. Yep. I didn't hear one note.
Yeah, it's been an interesting listen so far, and I've heard Tool, just not in like this kind of like in depth
deep,
with
for sure.
the whole album at once, and like re-listening, and I just listened to the most. Caught up to the 2019, so I'm caught up. I've listened to their whole discography now, but their recent album's awesome, dude.
It's so good. Yeah,
the guitar is really what was. Well, I always loved Danny Carey, obviously.
I think the secret weapon of Tool is honestly Justin Chancellor, their bass player.
On bass player. Oh yeah, he holds it down.
He's the glue between the drums and the guitar.
Dude, that was the only band member change they've had their entire time.
Really?
Was they picked up Chancellor after Paul D'Amour, I believe his name was. He left to do like a.
How long was he in the band though?
He did their first album, and I believe a little bit on the second.
Nice.
Like 2 or 3 songs type thing, and he wanted to go do a different. He wanted to go down a different direction, and Chancellor was a huge Tool fan. Like he loved Tool, and then they tried him out, and then he made the band because they said he just played the like.
Dude,
this is going to be a fun episode. I don't want to talk much more about it. It's going to be a good one.
Chancellor's tone to me has always been like the holy grail. Like that's the bass tone we need.
Yeah.
No matter what we're doing. All right, back to the band names. Number 21, The Obelisk. Final name?
The Cure.
The Cure.
Okay.
Okay. The Obelisk actually might have an argument for being a pretty cool band name.
I agree.
And then they castrated it and called themselves The Cure. Very good job, guys. 20, Smile.
Became Queen.
Huh. Nice. 19, Atomic Mass, which is terrible. And they took I think they took 1 step forward and then 1 step back and landed on Def Leppard. Spelled it so wrong. Now, if they weren't an internationally mega famous band, imagine how annoying it would be to be called Def Leppard. Like if you're starting a new band today, pretend this band doesn't exist.
Yeah.
And you call yourselves Def Leppard and you spell it this way. How much shit are you going to take at every show when people are searching Def Leppard and they're like, what the fuck?
Yeah, right. I cannot figure this out.
Number 18, Kara's Flowers. What do you think about that?
This is a great change over to Maroon 5.
Maroon 5.
Way better than Kara's Flowers.
Yeah, we should do an episode on Maroon 5 because to me, from the outside looking in, every episode they become less of a band and more of the Adam Levine project.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to dive into that and see if that's wrong, if that's a wrong interpretation. Because I'm not paying that much attention.
Is it his fault? Like,
I believe at his level, it's a bunch of record labels being like, well, he polls really well with the, you know what I mean?
Yeah, he's on TV shows and he was on.
It's probably a bunch of
The Voice, I believe, for
James Valentine, their guitar player, is a big part of the band. If you listen to songs about Jane, there's some amazing riffs on there. He's got great tone. He's got a signature guitar line with Ernie Ball, which is one of the best guitar companies. So like the guy rocks.
I think it's.
But then you listen to their new stuff, dude, and there's not a guitar in sight. You're like, how is this a band? Like it's literally just like beats and then Adam Levine singing.
So it depends on what you want out of your experience as a career musician. Because as one of the 4 members that aren't Adam Levine, it's like it definitely pays the bills to have one guy blow the fuck up in your band.
Oh, for sure.
And so like that helps pay the bills. You're gonna always have shows because of this guy. But then like, is it about the guy and not about the music anymore? Like, why am I here? Am I still having fun making original music with this guy?
There's probably a lot of that. So and like, not to mention, a lot of times when that happens, the guy becomes the biggest diva ever. I'm not saying that about Adam Levine. I don't know anything about Adam Levine. But a lot of times that happens where that guy becomes such an insufferable dick that you're like, I'm out.
Yep. And that's a big thing. That's what's been so cool with the Tool episode.
They started insufferable.
They literally, they all kind of got together.
Have you heard Maynard talk, dude?
Yeah, dude.
It's literally like, hey,
I know.
You want to come up for mayor there for a second?
That's what's hard. That's why it's taken me a while to get through this book.
And again, I'm half joking. I love all of these people I'm talking about, but
getting through their artistic opinions is pretty rough. You'll see when you read the book. You'll just be like,
I can't wait. Yeah. It's just like talking to one of those like kids graduating college now, and you're just like,
oh yeah,
you want to, get your head out your ass there for a second.
Hey, bud, do you want to experience the real world? Like, where
sounds like you're living a little in fantasy land there.
Yeah.
Maynard, though, I don't want to keep talking about Tool, but one of the busiest guys. Like, he runs a winery. Like, he's writing books. He's doing everything.
He's in multiple bands too.
3 that I know of: Pussifer, Broken Circle, and Perfect Circle. Sorry, and Tool.
Bro is a busy guy.
Granted, Pool didn't do much. Pool, nice. Yeah. Tool didn't do much for a long time, so. You got time. The Pendletons. That's a pretty cool name. What do you think?
I actually like that, but what does that have to do?
The best band name is not a good band name. By the way, worst band picture. But
true.
If you Google, I'm gonna save this and we'll post it.
Yeah, we need to find this picture. Yeah, we'll post it.
Let me make a note here.
What a picture.
If you we'll put this up on a reel for you. If you Google horrible family photos, bad family photos, have you seen those? Awkward family photos. That's what it is.
This
looks like one of those.
This looks like one. Yeah, you're right.
The Pendletons, I would say the best band names are not the best band names. They're just the least worst. They became the Beach Boys.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
Where did they even get the Pendletons from, I wonder?
I don't know.
Nobody's name. That sounds like a last name.
Man, looking at this picture and knowing it was taken in 1962 just makes me long for a simpler time.
Right?
First of all, there's a background, and they just left in like
they left in like
the chains holding up the background and stuff.
Yeah. When it was crazy, that was probably crazy sex appeal in the 60s.
People looked at this and thought, dude, these guys are the hottest guys I've ever seen. All right, number 16, Sweet Children. What you think of that? That is just absolutely horrendously creepy.
Get that out of here.
And they became the nonsensical Green Day. Yeah.
Yeah. Jeez. Sweet Children. Ugh.
Man. That's bad.
Yeah,
all right, moving on. Mr. Crow's Garden. I knew this one. Mr. Crow's Garden from Atlanta became the Black Crowes.
Dude, they just have so much swag. Look at them, man. They look so...
Yeah,
like
so cool.
Every single one has so much like individual style.
Yeah. So Mr. Crow's Garden,
even obviously the guy who didn't care, still showed up looking better.
Cool.
Like, yeah,
right? He's the coolest one there. This guy tried too hard right here. I think that's Rich.
He came straight from the bowling alley.
Yeah, I think that's Steve, the drummer. He's my favorite one. So Mr. Crow's Garden, they came in. They were working with A&R, and they were going to work with Rick Rubin, recording their first album. And all the label and Rick Rubin and stuff are like, dude, that name sucks. Like, you need to change it. And they were like, we don't know what to change it to. And Rick Rubin actually said, how about the Black Crowes? And they were like, fine. So Rick Rubin actually named that band.
Nice.
At least that's the story I read from Steve Gorman's book.
Dude, that's going to be a great episode. Yep.
Oh, wow. Well, Rick Rubin had a worse idea first. I think you should be the Cobb County Crows and spell it like the KKK. And Steve said, and we all laughed. And he goes, no, I'm serious. I think that'd be marketable. Are you out of your mind?
What the hell?
Rick Rubin has some weird things. Yeah.
Dude,
anyway.
This name.
All right. And we're going to do this one backwards because it's so bad. Bone Thugs and Harmony, which is arguably maybe one of the worst names of all time. Because what does it mean?
Right.
They changed it, though. So Bone Thugs and Harmony, as bad as it is, I cannot say that. As bad as it is a marketable improvement from the Band-Aid Boys.
Because we'll come into your hood and give you Band-Aids, bro.
Yeah. The Young Aborigines. That's kind of cool.
God.
They became the Beastie Boys.
I
don't know which one's worse.
The picture of them that just scared me. They look homeless.
Yep.
I actually have never seen a
homeless guy found a cool hat. That's what it looks like.
I've never actually seen a picture of the Beastie Boys until now.
Wicked Lester.
I did not know this one.
Not a good name, but they did all right when they changed their name to Kiss,
which became so marketable.
Yep. Although
sorry for the sniffling. I'm just getting over a sinus infection. Sniff.
Paul Stanley, of course, proposed they started calling themselves Kiss, and Peter Criss was not liking it. He said, that's a terrible pansy name. He's not wrong.
I thought that's who that was. When I saw the picture, I was like...
Here?
Yeah, I was like...
we're on number 11. The Screaming Addabs.
That is awful.
And
thank
they
God
changed
for
it
this
to
change.
Pink Floyd, which is...
What does that even mean?
Also not good.
Yeah. What is
color in a thing?
What is Floyd?
Who knows? Number 10, Soft White Underbelly.
What?
Became Blue Oyster Cult. Again, with the umlaut that doesn't need to be there. Number 9, the Salty Peppers. That's not that good. They became Earth, Wind, and Fire, which is actually kind of cool.
That's a cool name.
That's actually kind of cool. We'll give it their...
wow, they're the first. They're the first mediocre.
Yeah, give it their flowers. Here we go. Number 8, callback to episode number 1. Pud, let's go. Horrible.
And
they became the Doobie Brothers, which is also not good, but we know they found it. They kind of just got stuck with that name. They didn't really choose it.
They didn't really care about a name. Yeah, it was just kind of given to them.
Here we got 2 pretty good ones at number 7. Burn the Priest. That's pretty badass. And they became...
Lamb of God.
Lamb of God. Also pretty cool.
Real quick on the Doobie Brothers.
Yeah.
Like, you definitely have your head in the right place when you have a show booked and they're like, well, what do you call yourselves? And you're like and you have to come up with a name then. That means you're probably in the music industry for the right reasons.
Yeah, true. Although having a band name is not a bad idea.
It's not. But
might at that point, too aggressively on the other end.
They had like 3 shows booked. They're like, what do we...
Yeah.
We don't even have a name.
That's amazing. That brings us to number 6, the Rainbow Butt Monkeys. Do we even need to say how bad that is? They became Finger 11, which is also not good and probably a euphemism for penis.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard of.
Number 5, the Shrinky Dinks.
Oh, dude, I love this band.
Sugar Ray. Number 4. Here we go. This just tracks perfectly.
Dude, yep.
Tony Flo and the Miraculously Majestic Masters of Mayhem. It's too long, and they became the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Those guys, man.
Number 3, the Polka Tulk Blues Band became, now this one you won't see coming, Black Sabbath.
Dude, let me read that again. The
Polka Tulk Blues Band.
That is so misleading.
And that band, the Polka Tulk Blues Band, founded heavy metal.
Yeah, I was like, that's so misleading. They've got like polka in the title, blues.
And Black Sabbath though is pretty good. Like that's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's and now looking back, it might be a little like it might seem kind of trite, but definitely at the time and still today it holds up, I think, pretty good. The Gollywogs. Imagine going on Google domains and being like, I want gollywogs.com.
Jeez.
Well, they wouldn't have done that because it was 1970 and they were called Creedence Clearwater Revival.
People don't even say that either. CCR.
That's a bad name.
Yep.
Yeah, I tried
CCR.
to say it. I was talking to Amy the other day. I tried to say it 3 different times. I could not say it right once. Creedence CCR.
CCR.
And finally, number 1, Naked Toddler, which is not good, and also the cover of a Nirvana album. They changed their name to Creed.
Yeah, good change there.
Yeah. That's terrible.
Naked
I mean, Creed's a good name it's not a good name, but it's a good name for them.
Yeah.
Because it kind of tells you what they're all about. Wow, what a bad picture as well. But Naked Toddler, I think we can all agree. That doesn't need to happen anymore.
Yeah, no. I think that one earned its number 1 position. Although the Band-Aid Boys was a little low on the list.
Band-Aid Boys is pretty
opinion.
bad as well. And I think the only hip-hop group we came across, unless you count
true.
Beastie Boys as hip-hop.
I guess people are good at naming their hip-hop groups.
So write in, let us know. What's a good band name? Disagree with us. Is there a good band name? Or do they all suck? Then send us the worst ones. And hey, the worst ones don't have to be the ones that aren't famous, because I think Led Zeppelin's a pretty bad name. Great band. Not a good name.
That's true.
Yeah. So thanks, Jonathan, for kicking off that conversation with your nice comment there. Let us know what you think. And we're going to move on to the next section, which is where we have this thing where we've been looking high and low for, and I don't even know what to call this, but bands that have the same band, album, and song name. We'll call it the trifecta.
Yeah, the trifecta.
There were 49 that we found, and we're not going to go through all of them, but one of them, just on our list, was the Pocatello Blues Band.
Yeah, the Pocatello Blues Band.
With their song, the Pocatello, no, it was Black Sabbath.
Black
has
Sabbath.
the song Black Sabbath off the album Black Sabbath. Another one, Iron Maiden. And we're not going to list all of them here, just the ones that stand out, I think. Bad Company.
Those are about the only 3 so far that I actually know.
Yeah, Bo Diddley, real old school there. Damn Yankees, that's a great one.
Oh, I didn't know New Kids on the Block had like a...
Oh, nice. New Kids on the Block. Motorhead.
Okay, I didn't know about
Very
that one.
Very cool. Iced Earth. Metal Church. I actually do really like that song. Let's see. We're skipping around here. We're not going to read all of them to you.
Yeah, there's a lot that aren't.
One that I really liked was the 1975.
I forgot about that.
Yeah,
but all of their 1975 songs are always like those intro.
Yeah, but their first album was called the 1975.
First album. Yeah, that's true.
So
that's right.
That put them on the trifecta list. Angel Witch. That's kind of all the big ones we found.
Okay, so that's pretty cool. 5.
So we can kind of put that topic to bed now. We found the definitive list.
So there's not a long list.
Not a long list. 49 is not that many.
So excited to see if any new ones come out.
True.
You guys will have to let us know out there as well, if at any point, or even if you know any now. Even if they're just like your friend's band or whatever.
Did we leave something out? Let us know.
Yeah.
And that brings us to our main topic of the day.
Which is?
So we were talking about genre stereotypes, I guess is what we could title this.
Yeah, it was hard to
conversation.
Really come up with an exact title for the topic. It was just a topic that we'd been talking about, and I wanted to do it on the show, have a little more discussion, but really just through my time growing up and listening to music, and I was even guilty of it. So I grew up listening to classic rock for a while, didn't really ever give anything else a try until I guess a girlfriend in high school or whatever who listened to country, and I listened to country for like 2 months.
Nice.
Then I moved off that, ended up hanging out with some friends that listened to a lot of rap, hip hop, started to like that. I've always liked classic rock, which is kind of leads you to the roots to like most other genres of rock. Other than, I'm still not a big fan of like dad rock, like Breaking Benjamin and stuff.
Interesting.
And I don't even necessarily group them. And we'll have to get into it. And I don't even know why I have the dislike that I do. I could probably. I was going to say,
is there a genre or a subgenre like you just brought up that you just really don't like, and that you've maybe given a real honest shot?
See, that's the thing. I don't think I've given it enough of an honest shot with all of those types of like.
We slap some polarized Oakleys on you.
Oh, no.
Put a backwards hat on where the brim comes down just to your eyebrows.
Just to the eyebrows.
We throw a little tribal tattoo on you and put you in a Ford Raptor. Maybe you beat your wife, maybe you don't. I think you're going to find you love dad rock.
Oh my God.
Jokes, people.
But yeah, we're kind of talking like what are the big stereotyped genres, and I kind of came up with 3: that country music, rap music, and metal. And those are like a triangle of genres that I feel like people in the most people in the like rap area are not going to listen to the other 2. Most people in the country area are not going to listen to the other 2. Most people in the metal are going to not listen to the other 2. Those 3 seem to be the ones that butt heads the most because I guess they have the most differences.
Yeah, that's true. Although these days, I think country and rap are kind of coming closer and closer
Country
together.
and rap is like being married by pop.
Yeah, exactly.
And but just in general, I feel like growing up, my high school was pretty divided with country and rap. Those were like the 2 genres. I was kind of an like, I feel like everyone hears classic rock. It's kind of just what plays in our country. Other than now, it's more so pop than anything. But for the longest time, you go anywhere, you hear music on a radio, you hear music in general. It's classic rock like most of the time. Nowadays, it's just pop at, the radio, but
just like being out in the world and what you hear.
Yeah. And I wonder why people, so like with country music, I originally didn't like it. And that was more so just because I heard other people talk shit about it. And so like you kind of build up this negative view towards it before you even give it a chance. And then after having given country music a fair shot and a lot of listens, I definitely like older country music when they still have their folk roots. I think the mainstream radio country has gotten a little away from country's roots. But then again, music has to evolve and progress forward. And so with country, it's just a very simple form. I feel like the lyrics are pretty simple. Not always, they still are creative with lyrics, but I feel like the lyrics are a little more simple. You don't have to do a whole lot of complex thinking. Pretty, simple similes and metaphors through the song. You don't have to dive into hidden meanings, hidden phrases.
Right.
It's face value. There's not crazy solos. There's not crazy drum solos. The music itself is a more simple version. You don't have to do any thinking when you're listening to country. It's something you can just throw on.
Mass appeal.
It's just happy, feel good music that doesn't really have a whole lot else. And that's it has its place, and I love that. I like the folk stuff, and I almost want to say it comes down to the instruments. I really like adding banjo and mandolin and those kind of like old school kind of country instruments.
Leaning a little more like bluegrass.
Yes, dude, bluegrass is so good.
Yeah,
that kind of I could listen to that music all day for some reason.
That is pretty weird.
So I feel like that's dude. Oh, I know. I don't know why.
I got about 10 minutes of bluegrass in me.
I just want a banjo and somebody clicking some spoons together, dude.
Yeah. No, that is really cool. For sure. The genre that gets me the most that I can't listen to too much to for some reason is blues.
Blues.
If I listen to blues for more than like 15 minutes, for whatever reason, I can't explain it because I love blues. I get a headache. Like my head starts to hurt. It's happened 4 or 5 times. Finally, I was like, I think it's blues. Like, I'm like, all right. But this leads me to a point I wanted to make where it's called a genre on purpose. Like if everything was anything, we wouldn't have these pockets to put music into, right? So to say like all rap sounds the same, it's like, it's rap. That's the point. Like it has defining things of the genre, and that's why it's rap. Like no shit.
Because they have things similar.
Same with country, same with pop, same with metal, same with this, same with that. If you start combining too many of those elements trying to reach something unique, sometimes that does work. Most of the time it does not. And you just get something that sounds bad. Now I think too many people go for unique at the expense of good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, unique is fine if it's good, but unique for unique's sake just sucks most of the time. Yeah. There are exceptions, of course.
See,
and without people going for unique, we never would have had these genres push these boundaries, right? So there is something to be said for that. But it seems like music expands every year. It becomes bigger and bigger. And we're so many years into the industry at this point that it's so big that any expanding of those boundaries is getting into territory that's like, I don't know about this.
When you say unique to be unique, that just made me think of Andre.
Yeah.
3000.
Yeah. So, did you listen to it?
I couldn't get through it, dude.
Right. I showed Ashton Andre 3000's new album, which is a perfect example of unique for unique's sake.
Yeah.
Every song title is just like a full run-on sentence.
And it's just a bunch of weird flute solos.
It's like 15-minute ambient flute
songs. It was just to do it, one of those things. But
and dude, and again, not saying that's bad or wrong. Do it. If that's what you're feeling and it makes you happy, that's cool. But understand that it's just unique for unique's purpose. And that has a place, but for me, which I only ever speak for me, it's not always my favorite.
So blues is that your least favorite of all?
No, I like blues.
So I like blues.
I just can't take it. I can't listen to blues for 5 hours. Like,
do you
I got
really
10,
have
15
any
minutes.
music that you truly dislike? I feel like I can send you most songs, and now you and I definitely have different tastes for sure. We have overlapping, but we definitely have different tastes. Where some bands I like that they might not be as musically skilled as you would want to hear.
Yeah, I have this weird annoying quality where I can see good and bad in pretty much anything. Yeah. Something I like. I don't tend to like just jump on. Like Guns N' Roses is probably my favorite band. That's more from nostalgia than anything, just because they made me start music and all that. But I can listen to a Guns N' Roses song and be like, oh, I totally understand why people hate this. This part sucks. That's dumb. Like, just go through like I don't fully jump in on a team just without, never seeing any bad. Football's a great example. You never want to believe the penalties on your team are valid, but all the penalties on the other team are 100% valid. And it's like, that's not, come on, guys. Like, you got to admit like your own team's faults.
I go to football games and it's like, when my team makes a mistake, like I'll be like, yep, that's bad.
Yeah,
even if they're like reviewing a penalty or reviewing like a catch, I'll be like, yeah, no, he dropped it. That's
you gotta have some objectivity.
But the people that are in the stands that are just drunk and just there to boo at the refs for any bad, dude, I hate those people.
Like, it's just tribal, and that's fine. Like be on your team, be on your tribe. My team does no wrong. Politics, same way. My team does no wrong. Your team does all the wrong. It's like, well, the reality, as we know with most things, is probably somewhere in the middle. Same thing with music for me. So do I have a genre I hate where every single song I've heard in that genre I just can't stand? No, not really. I definitely, out of any genre, there's one or two songs I'm like, yeah, that's awesome. Yeah. And there's also songs out of any genre, including my favorites, that I'm like, that is bad.
Oh, for sure.
So like maybe a year ago, how 80s metal, we loved 80s metal, right?
Yeah.
Guitar, all the fun stuff. I just, for fun, I went to the Apple Music playlist, 80s metal, glam metal.
Oh no.
And I just played it. Dude, I couldn't get through one song. I'm skipping through all of them like, was this always this bad? Like,
dude, it's...
I understand why this was wiped off the face of the earth with Nirvana.
There's a couple that made it, and then...
You read the lyrics, dude, and it's literally like, I'm hard for you. Like, and you're just like, that's not a good lyric.
Yeah.
You can't, don't say that.
They gave up.
Yeah, it's just like...
at that point, they just wanted to be on stage wearing makeup with long hair and
which is
partying.
why Steel Panther's so funny, because all these 80s glam metal bands had these really thinly veiled double entendres that were just terrible. But Steel Panther, as a joke and kind of a satire on that, just comes out and clubs you over the head with the exact word. You know what I mean? Like, they're not trying to be sneaky, and that's the joke, I think, on the original 80s stuff, which is just so funny. It works on so many levels, but it's like that for me with most genres. So
think into any specifics that I don't like within. So I like metal music, but the thing is, the vocals are, I respect the hell out of screaming, and I respect the technique. I respect all of that. It's not something that I can recreate, and I enjoy being able to sing along to music. Yeah. And so not being able to sing along helps me not fully commit to the metal genre as I'd like. I love the drums, the guitar, all like the instrumental parts are awesome. And the vocals, I respect like a good sounding scream. It just sucks that I can't like sing along because I can't scream.
Yeah.
But so that's a specific part of why I don't always jump into metal. Pop punk is another one that's like with the vocals. Once again, the music is typically pretty good.
They can range from
some of the vocals can be really whiny and awful to listen to.
For sure. And a lot of those guys, for whatever reason, and I don't know enough about it to even point out names, cannot sing live. They are horrible live. I've seen some really, really bad stuff. You listen to the album, you're like, oh, that's really good. You watch a live clip, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Is that the same guy? Is he sick? And you watch another clip from another year. Nope, he just sucks.
Matty Healy for the 1975 was rough coming out. real bad. Now that, of course,
he's kind of got a lot of pop punk in his voice.
At that point,
that tone
he was like 17 years old. So like,
at the beginning,
dude.
Well, Ed Sheeran was the same way. Shawn Mendes was the same way. All those guys, like, people think singing is just something you're gifted with.
No, they developed that shit over years.
Yeah, actually, singing though, I think, is something you're gifted with to a degree that's higher than guitar. Like, no one's comes out of the womb and just like, like, you have to practice at least a little bit. Like, but singing, some people come out and just have a natural ability that other people don't have. That's not to say you can't learn it. If you're a horrible singer, you can absolutely become a good singer. Mm-hmm. Just takes practice.
Yeah, the one thing is anybody can become a good singer. Now, necessarily your tone and your voice itself is something that you're born with. So like, you can train yourself to hit the right notes and make your voice do the right things. That doesn't always mean you're going to sound better than Mariah Carey or like these other people that
you'll have your own tone.
Also, exactly. You'll have your own sound, your own thing. Now that compared to other people, what that sounds like.
And the running joke for among singers is whatever tone you have is never the one you actually wanted.
Yeah. Yep.
For even the people, even Mariah Carey and everyone else, like,
they wanted to sound like somebody else.
Yeah.
And they sound like themselves.
Yeah. A great example I heard was Matt Nathanson, the singer-songwriter, open for Train. He's kind of a soft, sensitive guy. He wanted to like scream AC/DC type vocals, and he was just like, couldn't do it, so I do this now. Like,
yeah, that's
which he came out with Train, and they sang a song together, and he did like a really high head voice scream. I was like, nice.
Been practicing. Wants to do it.
Yeah, that was awesome. But as far as I don't have genres I don't like. I have aspects of genres that really bug me.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, there's like parts of them, and that can hinder me from like just getting in the car, pulling up Apple Music, and typing in straight away like that band or that genre.
One thing that starts to drive me nuts too is when I see something that I've picked up on and I'm like, I'm not a big fan of that, and then it becomes the trend, and now everyone's doing it, and now I'm just super annoyed. The best example I can think of that recently is people singing really quietly. Drives me nuts.
Like Billie Eilish.
Everybody brings her up. I don't even really listen to her, but everyone comes out and is
like one or two songs, and I thought that was just the song. It's just how she sings.
Yeah, but it's like every song now is like, you don't want me. And it's just like, I'm going to kill myself.
I could do that.
And I don't even know if it's a good song or not, but I hear so many people do that. And it's like,
there's a couple.
Give me some projection, please.
Yeah, that's an interesting method.
Another thing I found out.
Mumble rap. When that came along, people were just not about it.
There's a lot of rap. And I love rap in the aspect of writing the rhymes and the rhythm and the flow. I love all that.
And the beats.
But a lot of these guys' voices, dude, they sound like that, and I'm just like, this is bad. Like, and all through the nose. Like,
yeah, there's some definitely finding the right rapper voice.
Funny enough, one of my favorite rapper voices is Andy Samberg.
Oh yeah, you always.
I don't know what he does, but he puts on that. He just has a cool voice. I like a lot of other rappers too. Like, I love Busta Rhymes, but
that's a lot of aggressive.
Like, he's got that like
overly aggressive.
I don't know how he does it, but it's so good.
I think so that's what's described as people's flow, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Is kind of how they attack the music with their syllables and their rhyming.
A lot of it's not that, because I've heard plenty of people with what I would say is great flow. It just
a bad voice.
Terrible voices.
Okay.
The one that gets me in the mouth is that nasally, or the like overly monotonous, where it's like, dude, did you even show up today? Where you could tell they're just like blazed, just like, no, my name. Like, open your mouth, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I think I'm just against people singing quiet.
I like I see that. Enunciate.
Yeah, it's just like,
I'm trying to think of my favorites. Or I like, as far as big ones, like I love J. Cole, Kendrick. Mm-hmm. I actually started to really like Future a little bit, as controversial as that is. He does not have he has a lot of tune up on his voice.
Oh yeah,
he's one of those guys, but I like his features on other songs. Dude, I love JID and Smino, those two guys. Those are smaller guys, but dude, I love their music. Right? Yeah,
was it good?
Oh yeah, dude, those I could listen to their music for a while. They're both under J. Cole though. His whole just like anything J. Cole is part of, I'm on board with. They have I'm trying to remember the name of the recording studio that he's with. It's gosh, they put out it. Yeah, I was gonna say they've put out a couple of Dreamville Records. Yeah, dude, any rap.
So he's got a label, not a studio?
Yeah, like any rap that comes out of Dreamville is my shit. For sure.
That's nice.
Earth Gang. I love Earth Gang too. They have some good features, but yeah, with rap, it's like I go through my phases. So like I'll listen to rap for a while, and then all of a sudden I'll listen to a 1950s country artist for a while, and I'll listen to all their stuff, and then I'll go through and I'll listen to like an 80s metal band.
And that's really why we started this podcast.
That's really where it came along. I was like, I'm just listening to all these different genres, and like I truly enjoyed the process of like hitting a band and then listening to their discography start to finish, and really and then breaking down why even in myself I don't like certain genres, and maybe not dislike, but like why I find myself not listening to everything equally.
Yeah. There's another it's not this is not something I don't like. It's something I have a hard time with. I'll explain. I have a really hard time distinguishing between pop female artists. For whatever reason, to me, they literally all sound the exact same. Like if a song comes on the radio, I'm like, okay, that's either Miley Cyrus, Demi Lovato, Taylor Swift, Selena Gomez, or Ariana Grande. I cannot tell the difference. Like,
yeah,
there's a few exceptions. First of all, if I know the song. Second of all, I can usually pick out Demi Lovato's voice. She has a pretty unique voice. Miley Cyrus, when she hits certain things, I can tell it's her. All of the others, dude, I don't think I can tell you. Like
there were parts of
because I've tried. I've been in the radio or been in the wherever shopping, and it comes on and I Shazam and I'm like, all right, this is definitely Selena Gomez, right? I don't know that name. That's not a name I know. I don't know who that is.
The other day this happened to me. I was in a store and I was like, I think it's Rihanna. No, it's Katy Perry. No, it's Rihanna. Why did they sound the same? Until the chorus hit, and then I could tell it was Rihanna.
Yeah,
because her accent came out a teeny bit.
Right.
But apart from like take the accents away, which is why you can hear Miley Cyrus, because her accent will come out sometimes.
She has that,
that just a little bit of who they are comes out. But apart from that, when they're just hitting the notes like in a studio setting, I'd be curious to pull up some of those artists and see if they sing in the same vocal range as well.
I'm sure. Yeah, a lot of the songs are written probably by the same group of people too.
Yeah, and behind the scenes, like they're writing, and
I believe there's done
like research. Like they definitely write in certain keys, certain tempos that just do the best statistically on radio.
Yeah. And again, people are going to misconstrue what I'm saying for me not liking this or saying, it's all literally the same. I'm not saying that, but to me, I find it hard to distinguish sometimes between those artists, particularly if they're new artists that don't have the name, some of those names I listen to. I find a lot of those artists that are still up and coming, or maybe I haven't heard of yet, I have absolutely no idea. Like I couldn't tell you.
Maybe that's why they like Billie Eilish, because she came out sounding different from
kind of got to have your thing for sure.
Yeah, it's not I like a couple of her songs. I might have heard 3 of her songs total. I think it was one of those moments where I heard a song and then found out it was her and was like, oh, I didn't know that was her.
Olivia Rodrigo's another one.
So like
very soft and quiet.
Ugh. So there was like one song that I liked. Oh, that's a sound outside.
Yeah,
I thought there was like a creepy humming coming through it literally sounded like a scary movie type of like.
It does kind of. I think it's a
just rumble.
I think it's a leaf blower, maybe something.
It just hit that scary movie frequency.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no! I literally thought you were playing a video in the background.
That'd be funny
for a second, and then I realized it was out the window.
Yeah, for sure. That brings me to what we've dubbed the Justin Bieber or Nickelback effect. Kind of what we were talking about earlier.
Yep.
Where you, or most people, seem to hate an artist without knowing anything about the artist, knowing any of the songs. Maybe they heard one song. Never been a fan of that. I'm a fan of when people have their own opinions. As opposed to just bandwagoning on what the general thought is.
Yeah.
The general narrative is Nickelback sucks, and it's like. Maybe. I don't know. I need to listen to them. Like, I need to make up my own mind,
Yeah, I've heard what's on the radio.
I'm sure they have songs I don't like and I think are dumb. And I'm sure they have songs that I like and think are great. Same with Justin Bieber.
Yeah, like...
And a bunch of artists.
Nickelback, I don't know why they became such a meme, because I used to hear them on the radio, and damn it if I didn't know all the words to all the radio songs at the time. You know?
Well, they're absolutely huge. It's one of those funny things where it's like, everybody says they hate Nickelback, but they still manage to sell out stadium shows. So I'm not a mathematician, but I think a bunch of people are lying.
I highly doubt they sold out a show for people to show up and boo.
Yeah.
Who's that dedicated?
Justin Bieber, same thing.
It's he's really good. He's a good musician.
Bieber's incredible.
Oh, yeah.
John Mayer worked with him once and said that he has one of the most innate gifts for like melody. Just to like sing, you're like, yeah, that's perfect. Like that's the exact melody that part needs, you know? And not to mention just a phenomenal singer. I remember I was in high school when he came out and we did like a story on him. I was working at my school newspaper, whatever, learning graphic design and all that stuff. And we did a story on him because it meant that me and my friend that were doing the story got to go to the movie theaters during school and watch his movie.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
So we did it. We left the movie looking at each other like, I think we really like Justin Bieber. There's a scene in the movie where someone's just filming him with like a cell phone. He's in a bathroom standing at the sink, just like warming up, like a public bathroom. You could tell in like a arena or something he's playing. Mm-hmm. And clearly not edited in any way. He's just singing, warming up, you know, doing some scales, singing some licks. And it was just like, God damn, that guy sounds good. Like he's got one of those voices that you're just like, that's a gift. I don't have that. Like I've sung for 10 years. I don't have that. Like, you are only 10 and you sing that good. So you got something I don't.
Yeah, he's definitely
same as Brian Luttrell from the Backstreet Boys. He was kind of their main. It was him and Nick Carter were kind of the main singers. Brian maybe even more so. And he said in their documentary, which is well worth the watch. We should do the Backstreet Boys, by the way. He said he was, you know, a kid singing in choir class in elementary school or something, and the teacher went around and had everyone sing. And when Brian sang, the teacher stopped him and said, "You can make a lot of money with that gift."
Damn.
He's like 7 or something, you know, like. And so, you know, a lot of these singers, Luke Combs, a ton of them got inspired and pushed by early choir teachers and church choirs and things like that. So, yeah, I mean, Brian does have that voice, though. So he's the one that sings, "You are my fire." He just has that voice. You're just like, oh, it's perfect. Like, it's an amazing voice.
How many? I'm trying to think of. Do you think a ton of people like can sing really well when they're young and then go through puberty and then can't? I'd imagine most of the time if you hear somebody with like a pretty angelic voice pre-puberty, you know that they can keep that singing ability throughout as long as they keep practicing.
Yeah. I don't think puberty really, it'll change your range, but it shouldn't affect much else. Mason Ramsey, you know, the Yodel kid who went viral?
Yeah, you're talking about him.
Yeah, that little kid who was the Walmart kid or whatever. He's still touring and stuff. I follow him. I keep up with him. He's gone through puberty. His voice is much lower now, and he's still a great singer.
So, okay.
Yeah. He's lost the kid range where he's way up in the soprano. You know, now he's just like in a normal range. But his stuff's really good. Yeah, great singer. Young, too. He's got to be like 18 or something. He was probably 10 when that video came out.
Really?
11, maybe 8, not somewhere in there. And now he might not be 18. He's probably 16, 17, somewhere in there. Teens.
Somewhere in that range.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. That's not a question I'm qualified to answer for sure, but I imagine you'll probably be all right most of the time. If you train, you work on it, you know, like anything else.
What do you think the next, I wonder where the evolution for like the next big new genre of music is going to come from?
Right now it's country.
So
country
is going to be some kind of evolution of country. So
country
what is
has taken over everything.
Be?
It's taken over everything. It's absolutely massive, and it's getting bigger by the day.
Yeah.
Until it'll peak and it'll come down to be something else again. But who knows? I did rock for a long time. It's definitely not rock.
What do you think? What do you think? Has jazz crossed with country?
I don't know.
Is that in the future?
The thing is, for nowadays,
the two have nothing in common.
Nowadays, the music industry is so splintered, right? You used to have these big genres: rock, country, pop, whatever.
Now it's just radio.
Now everybody has Spotify. It's not like CD sales. Like you can have like Dallas's taste, Ashton's taste. It's no longer like rock and country. It's like big, like super fine degrees of this, where every person has their own taste, and they can now have that in the industry, which was I don't think was really possible before in the same way. Because with playlisting and all that stuff, you can have a one album quote playlist of 12 artists, one song each. You know, so it's like so different now. But I think that means to be truly big and to take over, you have to be even more like universal. It's like it's going to get more and more mass appeal, universal, things like that. Because as soon as you dive into one of these subgenres too deeply, you're closing out all the others. You know what I mean? Because like you said earlier, if I'm a metal fan, as soon as you do something that's not metal, I'm out. If I'm that kind of metal fan. Yeah. And metal's actually notorious for that.
Yeah, dude.
They fight with each other to the point that they're like, "Oh, you're tech death metal. I'm metalcore. You suck." It's like it's all the same thing.
You all originate from Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
Every band that you like. Yep, every band that you like evolved from Black Sabbath.
Every band you liked evolved from the Pocatello Blues Band. Now argue with
Blues
me.
Band. Now argue. God, what a great
kind of true though, huh?
That band name. That's hilarious.
So I don't know. To answer your question, I think it's more. I think it's just going to be more mass. I don't see country going anywhere for a bit, which is kind of cool because we're just getting into country, so that worked out. Mm-hmm. It might be a year or two too late, but
yeah, I think
not too late, but behind.
I almost want to come to the show every week now with one artist that's on my shit list and one that's on my up and coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's on your shit list right now? Would you say? And what does the shit list mean?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like maybe
you don't like them, or you see them tanking.
Would the shit list be just there's maybe a song out there that's like hitting every radio that you just can't stand. Yeah. Maybe that type of thing. Unfortunately, right now all I've listened to is Tool. And
yeah, true. Right now, I see Zach Bryan everywhere. He's taken over country, like everything. You can't go online without seeing him or hearing him. And I don't dislike him, but I don't understand it.
Okay.
I don't understand it at all. He's kind of more folksy Americana, less country, real raw. Just like a lot of times it's just an acoustic and him singing like in a field. You know, it's not like very polished and produced, which is totally fine. That wave's gonna ride out as well, right? Mm-hmm. People are gonna want to come back around to more of the stadium sound, I think. More polished, more produced, more professional sounding. And Zach Bryan kills, I guess. You know, everyone loves him. I haven't really listened to him that much, but
you know what? I'll put because I listened to a little bit of their music and I wasn't fond of it. A Perfect Circle.
Really? And Puscifer's weird too. Puscifer's even more weird. A Perfect Circle has a couple cool songs I like.
Yeah. But after doing the Tool and then listening to that, I was like, I don't know if it's for me. Listened to one or two and then I went back to Tool.
Yeah. Apparently the way Tool works is the three band members actually just hang out and write all the time. And then they just send stuff to Maynard and he kind of gets on top of it is what I've heard. So as soon as he goes somewhere else, it's like you don't have that thing that you like, that Tool band, right? You just have Maynard singing over some other band, which could be cool as well. And Perfect Circle has some good stuff, but
yeah, I'll make sure to have one in for my shit list here.
Yeah,
next week. And then,
cool,
dude. On the up and up, and this is one that's not recent, but it's one that I've wanted to talk about, dude. The Parcels, man.
I don't know them. Are they new?
I want to say their first album was 2017. So somewhat recent. I had discovered them on accident originally because they did a song with Daft Punk, who I love dearly, and they had one song with them that I loved that song, and then I forgot about the Parcels, and then I was on the YouTube channel looking at Anna May Canterite, I believe. It's a German band. This singer has like a notoriously like raspy voice, and we'll look at it after this. And they did a song with the Parcels, and I was like, oh wait, I've heard of the Parcels before. And I went back and I looked and I saw that. I listened to their whole discography, and they're like a slightly less electronic Daft Punk, so a little more musician focused as far as everyone. I think they have two keyboard players.
That's cool.
And so like one is like always constantly playing piano and the other is playing like any random, like he'll even pick up like random, like just any instrument. He just kind of like plays all the
utility guy.
Yeah, dude, he's the utility guy. But dude, you got to listen to some of their stuff.
I'll check them out.
It is so good.
One thing I know, if you give me a musical request, I usually like it, no matter what it is. So I always check it out. You brought up that Toto song the other day. What was it called?
Oh God, that Toto song. It's like, so it's on the album that has Africa and
that was their fourth one, Toto 4.
Toto 4. Yeah, I gotta look it up right now. But
Toto would be a good one to talk about.
It's the second to last song on the album, and it's phenomenal.
Toto has a really cool story. I'm not sure if you know it, but they would be a good one to add to our list.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, see, the album is Toto 4, which has Rosanna and Africa, which you would think is like that's number 1 and 2, but Waiting for Your Love is.
I'll pull that up. There's also one that popped up. I'll have to pull it up for you after this, and I don't remember the name, but it was off one of their live albums. And I was playing the shuffle game, which is where if we have a long drive, someone will just shuffle the whole thing and you have to guess the artist.
Yep.
And it came on and it was just grooving so hard. I did not get that it was Toto, but it was so cool. I'll have to find that for you too.
Dude, they are such a groove band, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure. They got all sorts of cool stuff. Anything else today? We wrapping up?
I think that's about it.
Yeah, I think so too. Ah, quite the episode.
Yeah, I feel like I got some stuff off my chest.
Yeah, for sure. Well, we'll see you guys next week for well, I guess we spoiled it. It's Tool.
Tool. No, we said it at the end of the...
We'll see you guys next week for Tools. Just a quick reminder here at the end. Please don't forget to like and subscribe on YouTube. Follow on the socials. Instagram and TikTok is where we're most active. And most importantly, if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, just scroll down a little bit, give us a 5-star review and a rating if you want. Leave us a little note there or something. We'll read it on the show. That helps us grow a little bit quicker than other platforms like Spotify and such. But if you're listening to us on Spotify, please do the same there. We appreciate all 5-star reviews. Until next time, this has been Melomaniax. I'm Dallas.
And I'm Ashton.
And we'll see you guys later.
Peace.